All right, and we're back with another edition of the Scotty Knows Show. This week we have Coach Dannenbring on. Coach, how you doing?
I'm excellent. Thank you, Scotty. Happy to be on with you.
For those that may not know you, could you give kind of a brief background of yourself?
Okay, brief background. I mean, I don't know. I could try to be brief. I grew up in DeSmet, South Dakota. I graduated high school from DeSmet in 1995. So that just makes me, I'm aging, like I'm getting some gray hairs here. After I graduated from DeSmet, I moved on to Northern State University. And since we're talking coaching, while I was at Northern, I got to coach a couple years at Northwestern High School with Wade Roselle. While I was in college, that was a great experience for a young kid in college. From there, my first real job was in Canton, South Dakota, and I was in Canton for 10 years. Canton, I was the assistant boys basketball coach with Tim Hazlett, who's the principal at Roosevelt right now. And then, so I was his assistant for 5 years. Then I was the head girls basketball coach there for 5 years. From there, I moved on to Minnesota. I lived in Fairmont, Minnesota. I taught I was the girls basketball coach in Mountain Lake, like Minnesota. It was Mountain Lake, Butterfield, Odin back then. And now, now they're just like Mountain Lake area, I think. And then the second year there, I was an assistant girls basketball coach at Fairmont. Then I moved out to Rapid City. So from Rapid City, my life adventure continued. I was assistant boys basketball coach at Rapid City Stevens from 2012 to 17, and had some great experiences there. Then 3 years, 2017 to 2020, I was at Stanley County, the old Buffs. There we go. You got your Buffs gear on. That looks good. I should have probably wore some Buffs gear. But since I'm on this podcast, yep. So I was there for 3 years at Stanley County as the head girls basketball coach. And then finally, like, my wife switched jobs again. We had moved up here because she had gotten a job at the Board of Regents. So, she switched jobs again, and we were lucky enough to be able to move back to Rapid City here. And last year, assistant boys basketball coach again at Stevens. And then this year, be the head girls basketball coach at Rapid City Stevens. Well, that was not brief. Sorry, Scotty.
Oh, no, it's fine. How'd that, because this new head girls job just came available not long ago.
Correct.
How'd you come about the job?
I feel, first, like, I want to say that, like, I feel like bad for Coach Brooks and how, like, the whole situation, for him ended here, because, he's a very good coach, and it's a really tough deal that he left our school district. And it bums me out that I'm not going to see him around and not be able to talk to him, because, like, girls and boys basketball practices here. I mean, we use one's going to go early and one's going to go late. So, you always get that time where you get to talk, in between practices, like we're ending and they're starting, or they're starting and we're ending. So I'm going to miss having him around. So, but when he resigned the position, I talked it over with my wife, and, she was on board with, giving it a run. And, I applied, went through the process of, going through the interview, and I was chosen the head girls coach.
Was Coach Brooks around at all to give you any advice?
I did talk to him. Yeah, I called him and I talked to him about, the whole situation, and I had a good conversation with him. And, like, I'll still call him and talk to him and ask him for advice. I don't have any problem asking anyone for, anyone that I respect as far as, like, basketball coaching. I'll definitely talk to anyone about that, or just, things that are going on with the program, and, like, how to best communicate and, motivate players, and, what kind of works for our team.
What did the head boys coach at Stevens have to say?
Okay. Well, Chris Dabner, like I've been working, I worked with Chris for, let me think, was it 2 years before I moved to Pier, and then like last year again. He was supportive of the move. I mean, I think like, and it was a tough decision because like we're gonna have a very good boys basketball team too here this year, and I was, and I know that my JV kids that I was going to get to coach on the boys side are the most athletic group of boys I've ever coached by far. Long, athletic, very good athletes. So I was really looking forward to coaching them. So I don't know, like, I mean, he's supportive, he understands that, I wanted, the opportunity to be a head coach again. And that was great. I appreciate everything he's done to help me.
I don't know if you know, but I actually have, or used to have, a little bit of a connection to the Rapid City Stevens girls basketball team.
I did not. I am curious to know what is going on.
So last year, she was a senior on the team. Her name was Kennedy Rising.
Yes.
Her mom was my freshman English teacher.
Oh, okay. Small world. That's South Dakota for you. Yeah. That's excellent. Excellent.
So I got a good earful of what the Stevens girls basketball program is all about. I'll just say.
Okay. Sounds good.
Sounds
good.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's too bad. Like, I think she had like a knee injury that really kind of slowed her down, or, well, is that her? I can't remember. Like, but yeah, I know that, like, yeah, but they had a great season last year. I mean, maybe their regular season wasn't quite as maybe what they wanted, but like, what a good state tournament, making the run to the state championship game. They played really hard. So it was fun for me to cheer them on.
Is there any kind of I don't know exactly, like, how high are the expectations?
Oh, I think like our parents have pretty high expectations here at Stevens. And that's, I would say, I've coached a lot of years, as a head coach. I've been a head coach 9 years. And I would say this is the most talented group of kids that I've been able to coach, and I didn't have anything to do with it. It was one of those things that, like, the assistants, the junior high program, the youth program here in Rapid City had everything to do with that. I just get to be the lucky one who gets to, be rewarded for it. And it's kind of like what happened at Stanley County. I think that we did some pretty good work with our younger kids at Stanley County, and you can see that, like, they're a lot more competitive, here as they've gotten older, which I've been happy to see. I've enjoyed watching their progress and watching them be more successful than they were when I was coaching there.
Correct me if I'm
actually, it was me too, obviously.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is Jada McNabb a senior?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. That's like that's like one of the players I remember very, very well. She's very good.
Yep, she's an excellent point guard for sure. And then, we have some other girls on our team that are also fantastic basketball players. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to know them better and, and figuring out, what they do best and what we do best as a team.
And of course, you know where your first game is.
Yeah, I saw like here, so that's pretty exciting. It's like almost going home. And the crazy part is, I lived just like right by right by the corner of the Pier School there. I was on East Church Street.
Yep.
So it's just like I'm going home there.
We'll talk a little bit about your old gig, so to speak, at Stanley County.
Okay.
What did you think of your time at Stanley County?
For me, it was challenging. It was really challenging. Like there's a lot of good kids, and I've been, obviously going through my past. You've noticed that I've been in a lot of different places. I kind of thought, I would be one of the coaches that would just be at a place and that would be my place, but life didn't work out that way for me. Like, where I was just going to stay in Canton like my whole career, and I mean, it could have maybe, but I mean, the experiences that I've had moving around to different places have really helped me to develop as a person and helped me to develop as a coach and a teacher. And Stanley County was a great experience, a great learning experience for me on, on how to improve and how to try to build a program and like you learn from your failures. And I can honestly say I did the best I could to try to help us to win games, to stay in games, to be competitive, and to teach basketball and to teach life things. And like the girls that we had at Stanley County, like I really admired them, like during the basketball season when they came out, and they just kept trying, they kept working to get better. And we came close a lot of times, it just didn't happen. And we got a couple wins, and we had some bad luck my first year when Jen Sweetman tore ACL.
Yeah.
I mean, we maybe could have won. I really think we could have won 7-8 games that year because she was so good in the summer, and then it just didn't happen. So I mean that's just the way life works sometimes, and you learn from those experiences and you try to get better.
You got me to dust off the basketball shoes at one point.
It's true. It was quite an interesting practice. Scotty comes to practice.
Oh, what did you think of my game?
You need a lot of practice, Scotty. To be honest, like we gotta keep working on we gotta work on the shooting form. You gotta get in the gym. You gotta get in shape. Like, come on, we gotta keep after it. But I do appreciate the effort, like coming and trying and seeing what it's like. It's it's a lot. And then you think it's just like for you too. You're doing your job and you're working. Like the kids are doing their job at school. They've got to go through all their classes. They got to do their homework. Then they got to go to, then they got to do that extra time afterwards. It's a big commitment being a high school athlete.
When they broke their losing streak last season, what did you think?
I was happy for them. I was really happy for them. I was, I'm sure it was a good feeling for them as well to get to get a win. They've been working for it. They've been working towards it. And I hope that there's more wins for them this year. I think there is if they continue to put the effort in. I don't know how good a summer they had last summer, but and that's really the key to any basketball program is like, you gotta put some time in the summer to improve. And that's where we fell short at Stanley County. Like a lot of the high school girls, they had jobs or they lived on the ranch, and I understand that it was hard for them to come in, and we didn't get enough time put in the gym, and then you pay the price for that when it comes to the season.
Yeah, I have a tattoo bet to live off of now. I have to get a tattoo now. Thanks, Taylor.
Is it a buffalo at least?
Yes, it is.
That's awesome. It's fantastic.
I haven't gotten it because pandemic and everything, but
yeah, like I will tell you, I have one tattoo, and like it was a 2-hour, very, very painful experience. So,
really?
Oh yeah, I did not enjoy it one bit. So, like, good luck with that.
Yeah. Well, luckily the tattoo place that I trust is actually out in Rapid. So
okay, all right.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
What's the best way for a player to get better?
It's working on fundamental skill, like in the off season, with a combination of playing the game. So, it's time and it's effort. But I mean, if you want to get better at basketball, you got to be able to dribble. You got to be able to pivot. You got to be able to pass it to your teammate. And you got to be able to shoot it. And like if you can shoot it, preferably, like that one really helps. Being able to handle the ball is very good. And to be able to score, you have to be able to pivot. And to be able to make your teammates better, you be able to pass it. And the thing is, like with basketball, you got to do it quickly. You got to do it. Like there's just so much, and that's where play in the game comes, where you learn the speed of the game, because it's a huge jump going from, a junior high basketball player to like freshman level, to like JV level, to varsity level. And then from varsity level to like a college basketball player is a huge jump. And then like college to NBA is like another massive jump. So, I think like it's a combination of working on individual skills and playing the game and learning the rules and how it works.
I can't believe we've gone through this entire thing and I haven't asked how much snow did you guys get?
At my house, which is out by Red Rock Golf Course, we got about, I'd say it was like 5 inches maybe. But then
Oh, not bad.
where my rental house where I used to live, I have a rental house up High Sega, which is, up in the hills,
Oh
about
yeah, I
8
know.
miles up. So I think there is about a foot up there. Is a lot more. I saw some pictures and it was a lot of snow. But today
Probably
gone.
all melted.
Today the snow has melted and it is fantastic. We're supposed to have 60s this weekend.
Nice.
And might be going to the golf course.
I also haven't asked how's the family? How's the kids?
Family, the kids are good. Like my 2 older boys, I have a sophomore and an 8th grader. They're having a good school year. Gabby, my stepdaughter, is starting. She's going to start her little traveling basketball team here out in Rapid City.
Oh
So
my
she's
goodness.
4th grade. Well, and she played for when my last year at Stanley County, she was a 2nd grader and she
Yep.
played with the 4th grade team. And I was pretty happy that she got that experience. And now like she's playing against girls that are her own age out here, which is nice. And then my little guy, he's in preschool. He's 4 years old, little Maxwell. And he's having pretty good experience. He goes to Canyon Lake in the morning, and then he goes to the YMCA in the afternoon.
Really?
Yeah, they have swimming lessons and things for him to do at the Y. It's a pretty good setup up here for him.
I can already see the smile on his face.
Oh yeah, he's a happy little guy.
What are some of your biggest influences?
Coaching influences. Well, first, like personal influence, my mom is like my hero. Like my mom, like she took care of my dad who was a diabetic, and and then she took care of my youngest brother who had muscular dystrophy. So, I mean, she's had, a couple real big, our family's had a couple, both my father and my youngest brother have passed away. And so like she without a doubt is like my hero and like the person I kind of aspire to be, like someone who gives and, gives and doesn't think twice about, helping someone else out and being there for people, in DeSmet. Like if something bad is happening with anyone around the community, basically she's the gal who brings food. And she's got she makes some fantastic casseroles, just fantastic.
Oh,
Well, I know that you like to test food, Scotty. So
I do.
I might have to send you a recipe or two.
All right.
Yeah, she's fantastic. But then as far as like basketball, I was blessed growing up. Our coaches in DeSmet were just fantastic. First coach was Dave Carmen, who is a great man. And then, as I moved up through junior high, had good coaches there. And then of course my high school coaches, Pat Wheeler and Marv McEwen were fantastic people. And I had a great experience in high school. We were able to win a state championship, which is a cool experience. And then moving on through college, I got to go to Northern and I got to take theory of coaching basketball class with Don Meyer and Kurt Fredrickson, who couldn't be more different as far as their basketball philosophies, but both great coaches. And you taught me that you can win different ways, and they're just fantastic. And then, of course, all the coaches that I've gotten to work with over the years. I mean, Wade Roselle, Tim Hazlett, my assistant coaches that at Canton, Rich Lundstrom, Andrew Stephenson, going down the line from, the guys I coach with over in Minnesota to, here at Rapid City Stevens, Ron Reichert, Jason Olson, Darius Buss, Chris Stabner, Travis Schwartz, who I get to work with again as my assistant.
Oh,
Nice. And so like I've been just blessed throughout my career to coach with really good people. And of course, Stanley County, we got, the coaches I had there, Coach Konitsky and Coach Royer were my assistants. And then, getting to see, Tom O'Boyle, and of course, Max Foth, like he's my guy, man. Max is great. So great coach there.
It's crazy to see what O'Boyle and like what they're doing in Vermilion. Like
the talent was there. So the talent was there. So he's doing a great job.
Who are some of your favorite opponents to coach against?
Oh boy.
Because I mean, there's
it goes one. Like it goes from year to year. When I was in Canton, I really enjoyed the challenge of playing against Lennox back when they were Lennox and T together. I mean, that was always a great rivalry. When I was growing up in DeSmet, it was playing against Howard and Hamlin. Those were our two biggest rivals when I was in DeSmet growing up. But it was like, I don't know, like those are, other coaching ones from where, like the best rivalry in the state of South Dakota. And I don't care. I will fight people on this is Rapid City Central versus Rapid City Stevens. Like
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, the Stevens and Central game, like I realize most people in the state have never attended that game, but it is like by far like the most intense basketball game for a high school kid to be a part of. My first year, I'm sitting in the stand. I'm sitting, like the gym is like half packed for the JV game. Then when the sophomore game comes, it's like almost full, and then it's totally full during the varsity game. And you get, I don't know, almost 4,000 or 5,000 people into our gym at Stevens, and the kids chant mean things at each other, and it's kind of funny. They're funny mean, and like it's just a fantastic experience. You can like yell and not be heard. Like when you're coaching, it's one of the few games where like the players really just have to play, because like you can't really help and guide them that much because it's so loud. So yeah, it's quite an experience.
Yeah, I went there once, I want to say 2012 or 2011. And I believe it was like, I think his name was Tate Stensgaard was his name.
Okay, yep. That was the year before I came to Stevens, yep.
Okay. But he was on one of the teams, and I believe there was twins. There might have been twins. It was like Drakes.
Yep.
Might have been the Drake twins.
Yep, the Drake twins and Stensgaard. Yep, they were Stevens kids. Yep.
Yep. And I remember there being newspapers in the student section, and whenever the opposing team was introduced, just a bunch of newspapers. And I'm like, that's the most I've ever seen anybody read the newspaper at a basketball game in my life.
Yeah, and like sometimes our kids will just like turn their backs.
Yep,
like they're all sorts of different things. Yeah, so it's pretty funny.
There's one in particular I'm thinking of, but what are some of your favorite games that you've coached in?
Oh, yeah, you know the one. Games that I've coached. There's a handful. Let's see, how do I want to go? Like, which ways do I want to go here? I'm trying to think if I should go like most recent and then go like backwards, or go back as far as I can think and then go forwards. I think I'll go back as far as I can think. All right. Okay. Favorite games. Okay. So when I was in high school, when I was a junior and a sophomore in high school, we lost to Warner in the state tournament. We beat them during the regular season, then we lost to them in the state tournament. Right. So my first game as an assistant coach at Northwestern High School, we're playing Warner, right? And like I had a really, really good basketball team. When those guys were freshmen, I coached them as freshmen. When they were seniors, they made the state tournament. So I was coaching them as freshmen, and we're playing Warner's JV. And we had the old run and jump out, and we just whooped Warner's JV. And I was like, Chuck Welke was down at the other end, and I was so proud that like that one, my first game as a coach, I remember that one very specifically. Other games that are fantastic. I'm proud of a game that we had out in Campbell County. Like we played in Gillette, and Gillette had won 2 state championships in a row, and they had the 2-time player of the year, Cody Kelly, who went on and he played at USD. He played at Wyoming, and then he played at USD, and he's a fantastic basketball player. And we had Steve Schaefer on our team. Steve ended up being Mr. Basketball. So we're in Wyoming. We're over there. We're playing at Campbell County in the Camels Palace. So it is a fantastic basketball game. Cody scored like 25 or 30 points, but Steve Schaefer scored 43 for us, and we beat them at their place, and it was just a fantastic basketball game. We were down, and then we got them to turn the ball over. We scored, and it was awesome. So that one was a great game. Of course, the one that is probably the most heartbreaking, one of the most heartbreaking. I've got two. I've got two that are just heartbreakers. So I'll go with this one first. Fairmont, Minnesota. I'm an assistant coach in Fairmont. We're playing Worthington, and they have the Bover girl that's going to SDSU. So we're playing them in the subsection final, because in Minnesota, you got 16 teams in a subsection, and then you play the other subsection, you get to the state tournament. So we're in the subsection finals. We're playing Worthington. We are up with the ball with 10 seconds left by one. Like, they have 2 fouls to give. So we get the ball in once, they foul us. We get the ball in twice, they foul us. The third time, they tip it. There's a scrum. It's tipped again. The Worthington girls get it. They dribble down and they make a layup. And our season is over. It was brutal. So that was pretty brutal. And then the other one that you're thinking of is the state tournament game, first round state tournament, Stevens versus Pierre. We had a great game with them, just an absolutely fantastic one. Double overtime. We missed some free throws. They missed them some chances too, of course. But it came down to the last second, and this is like, oh my goodness, there's a couple plays that the Pierre kids just made that were just fantastic. But I remember what the point guard's name again.
Bennett Dean or Brad Dean.
Yes, Brad made a play where like he did a spin. We went to try to steal it and double team him at the top of the key. He did a reverse pivot and made a 3-pointer from like 4 feet past the 3-point line. That was an incredible play. I'll never forget that one. And then, of course, at the end of the game, we're up by 1, and they get it into Mr. Zabel, and he takes 2 dribbles. He shoots a floater, which is incredible, from about the free throw line area.
Yep.
And it splashes in at the buzzer to beat us. And that was rough. After that, though, the next day we beat Brookings on the last second shot. And then we really played well. Most satisfying win for me was that 5th place game. We beat Huron in the 5th place game, and Huron was always so tough, and we played so well, and we beat them, and if like, Huron is always just like, with Coach Buddenhagen, he's such a good coach, and the kids play so hard, and to beat them, with the way we did, I was really proud of our team. So, yep, those are some memorable ones.
I feel like, did you do some public address announcing during Stanley County football games?
I attempted it, yes. I was not I'm not the best PA. I mispronounce kids' names, especially from the other teams. I know ours, but I had parents from the other teams yell at me all the time, like, because I mispronounced their kid's name, or I couldn't see. Like, my long-term vision is not fantastic anymore. So like, I would see like a kid, and I think that'd be number like 12, and maybe it was number 13, and I'd say number 12's name, and they'd be yelling at me like, "No, that's not right." I'm like, "Sorry." So I did attempt it.
I just seem to remember you as somebody off camera there.
Yep. No, it's fine. I had a student in class, like, she's done with her work. Good job. Okay. She stayed after, she got some work done.
Okay. I just seem to remember, I think it was you that may have called him Stove Cat.
I think I probably did.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was Cage Stover. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. The old Stove Cat. Yep. Stove Cat and Topol. Like, those two, like, it gave me a lot of gray hair. A lot. Stove Cat and Topol.
Something that's kind of unrelated to anything that we're talking about. We're in the extra/fun portion of the show. Sounds now. Good.
Excellent.
Have you seen this John Cusack controversy?
No.
Okay. So
I'm uninformed.
So John Cusack went to the White Sox playoff game dressed up in White Sox gear. It's pretty well known that John Cusack is a Cubs fan.
So now he's just trying to be a Chicago fan, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what is Is this the controversy that he's like Homer? He's like trying to be a bandwagoner?
Yeah. Like, can you be a fan of two teams?
Now, if it's professional teams, like if it's a high school team, like I'm always going to be a fan of DeSmit. That's my hometown. Those are my guys. Those are my boys. High school teams, yes. College teams, no, you can't really be a USD. You can appreciate both. Maybe, I don't know. You can maybe appreciate both at that level. But it seems like there's like not a lot of love between the USD and real USD fans and real SDSU fans.
Yeah.
You know, real Northern State, real Augie. You know, out here in the West, not a lot of love between Black Hill State and School Mines.
Yep.
So, you know, I understand those. But professional, I would, you know, I'm a Vikings fan. I hate the Bears.
Oh yeah.
All my good friends are Bears fans, and they rub it in every chance they get. So, you know, I can appreciate other teams maybe, but I mean, you got to be a fan of your squad.
Yeah. Like, I can appreciate the talents of Aaron Rodgers, but I wouldn't ever call myself a Packer fan.
Exactly. I'm the same way. Boy, I have been a Vikings fan for a long time. It's been 30 years of Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. They've had great quarterbacks for 30 years. I'm so ready for them to have like an average quarterback.
Yeah. I've been meaning to ask this because we brought up the Smet several times. Is Laura Ingalls Wilder like a cult hero there?
A cult hero? No, but she does drive tourism in the town, which is
Okay.
which is very nice. You know, there's in DeSmit, they have a tourist area, which is basically like where she grew up at. You know, her books are fantastic, children's books.
Oh yeah.
And then, you know, there's a pageant, which kind of like is a play. It's an outdoor play, and they do it 3 weekends in the summer, and it's really pretty good. It's well done. I was in the pageant. My aunts were the directors. My grandma was the first president of the Laura Ingalls Wilder Society in town. She helped to set up a lot of the tourism stuff. You know, so I know a lot about Laura Ingalls Wilder, I guess, and you know, she's a very good author, and DeSmit, she does run, you know, helps to run business and tourism in DeSmit, which is pretty cool.
All right. You can talk as much as you can, as much as you want. Why do you love the movie Super Troopers so much?
Well, it's a good question right now. So we can't stop it, can you? Anyways, like so when I was coaching in Canton, South Dakota, my assistant coach is Rich Lundstrom, who's the head football coach at Canton, and he is a fantastic coach. And he's going to be a Hall of Fame football coach, or if he isn't already, he should be. So Rich, like, he loved the movie Super Troopers, and like he would quote it, and I was like, I have to watch this. So I watched it, and then I watched it again, and I watched it again, and like it's my type of humor, just like cheesy, silly, ridiculous humor. So, and then like I was talking with him, you know, about, you know, the meow scene, and for some reason it popped into my head that like I think it'd be funny if during interviews you could sneak a meow in every once in a while. So I said that like if I became a head coach again in South Dakota, I would do that during interviews. So I was able to successfully sneak a meow in. So like later tonight, I have an interview with Nate Brown out here on his radio station, and I'm gonna see if I can sneak one in somewhere.
What are some of your other favorite movies?
My favorite movie of all time, since I am a golfer, is Caddyshack.
Really?
Like, oh, guy called me a gorilla. Think I'm his wife. No, all those Rodney Dangerfield lines in there, you know, the world needs ditch diggers too.
Yeah.
You know, that stuff, like, oh, it cracks me up. Like, it's definitely my favorite movie. I don't know. I enjoy a lot of different shows, but yeah, that one's probably my favorite. Caddyshack. I like some of the Dumb and Dumber always is a good one for me to laugh. Like Billy Madison makes me laugh. Like those are pretty good comedies. Super Troopers, obviously, I enjoyed. Hangover. Then as far as like as serious movies, Shawshank Redemption is up there for me. I could like every time that's on, I'll stop. The Green Mile, I'll stop every time that's on. I can't. I don't know. It's tough. I can't think of a lot more. TV shows is more what I do now. Binge TV series.
Okay. Well, after this, I have to watch 6 hours of Squid Game. So
I've heard this is I haven't seen that yet. It's on my list.
Yeah. Wedding Singer, by the way, over here.
Oh, fantastic one, Wedding Singer. Yes.
So are you ready to pick some college and pro football games?
Always ready.
All right. So we have 5. This is our typical 5 college games and then the primetime NFL games.
Okay.
So our 5 college games, the first one is Oklahoma State going into Austin to play Texas.
Texas looked really good last week, and they lost. They lost such a heartbreaker. I'm going to say Texas bounces back.
Well, I'm a Longhorn fan, so
there we go.
Auburn is going to be playing Arkansas in Arkansas.
Arkansas is going to whomp them. They're going to whomp them. They're going to whomp them again. They're just huge. You see those Arkansas kids?
Yeah,
they're massive human beings. All right.
and I love Sam Pittman. He's one of my favorite coaches. Yes, sir. I love it. Probably one of my favorite rivalries that isn't Texas Oklahoma. Florida going into Baton Rouge to play LSU.
Ooh, yeah. Florida's going to get this one this year.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty solid. But I do like listening to Orgeron. He's a good coach too. Like he's old-fashioned football coach.
This next matchup, it's the first time 2 SEC East teams have been 6-0. Kentucky is going into Georgia.
I am going to take the Bulldogs. I am a Bulldog at heart. And I know Kentucky's had a great year, but I don't know if anyone's going to score a lot of points on Georgia's defense.
I think through 6 games, they've only allowed 1 touchdown.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Final game. This is a weird matchup, but it happens when you have an independent school playing. BYU going into I believe it's Waco to play Baylor.
Ooh, gosh. I don't know much about either team. I'd probably take a pat. I'm gonna just guess Baylor because they're at home. Sure.
Well, BYU's the ranked football team in that matchup, which is
we're going for the upset then, I guess. Home dog.
Okay. And then by the time this is airing, it'll probably be over because I'm probably going to release this in the morning. Thursday night football tonight, Bucks at Eagles.
I'm going to take the Bucks, but I'm going to also take it's going to be a lot of points because their defense is banged up right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think that the Eagles will score some points and the Eagles are going to make it close, but I think the Bucks will sneak it out because Brady is my age. That's amazing.
The London game, Dolphins versus Jaguars.
So bad. I'm going to say the Jags get their first win.
I think the Dolphins win this and the Jaguars leave Urban Meyer in London. That's what I think.
Hopefully not at a pub.
Yeah. The Seahawks are playing the Steelers in a battle of just banged up quarterbacks. It's also a rematch of Super Bowl 40.
Seahawks and the Steelers. I'm going to go with the Steelers since
it's at home.
Yeah, and Roethlisberger looked a little better last week.
No Juju Smith-Schuster for probably extended period of time.
It's okay. It kind of helps my fantasy team because I have the running back. Is it Hines, right?
Oh,
Or what is his name?
Najee Harris.
Harris. Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
All right, getting old. Yes,
Uh,
he's on my fantasy football team though.
and finally, Bills at Titans on Monday Night Football. The last time these two teams played, I believe it was Derrick Henry that just did a stiff arm from hell on Josh Norman. So,
Yep. He probably will stiff arm some people. However, like the Bills defense is decent enough and the Titans defense is not. It's
Yep.
going to be the Bills beating them. I think the Bills, I'm going to give the Bills the edge on that one. But you never know. Turnover or two here and there.
I believe it's also the final Monday night game before the Mannings get to return.
Oh, yes. And I've enjoyed that. Like
I
they're
love
fantastic.
that too.
Yeah, they're absolutely fantastic.
But that'll do it. Do you have any parting thoughts?
Parting thoughts. I appreciate the time to get to chat with you, Scotty. It's been a long time since I've seen you, so that's been pretty cool. I appreciate the support. Like I'm happy that, like, and I got to say, like, I'm happy that I've had the opportunities. I got to coach. I've been able to coach some good kids everywhere I've been, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity here. I was thinking like, a lot of people they've congratulated me on being a head coach, and like it's more like you get the congratulations is that you get to keep doing what you like to do, and you get to spend time with kids, and you get to influence, hopefully help them to become better adults as they transition from high school into the real world. And like I'm pretty blessed to be able to do that. The hard part about being a head coach is that like it's more sacrifice and time away from my family, and like that's the balancing act of it. It's like, yeah, I mean, if people if you know the time and the effort and the thought that goes into all the work, it's like, I don't know if you really congratulate me or should just say thank you, because like it's a lot of effort, and like a lot of times there's people that don't like you at places. There's some people at Stanley County that they were not happy with like how things went, but then there's others that enjoyed the experience. And for me, it's just like you go out, you do your best, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. I'll try my best. We're going to try to get our best. We'll try to be ready to go when we get to Pier. I remember coaching against those young girls. Now they're older, they're juniors and seniors, but they were freshmen and eighth graders back when I had them at the Fort Pier gym in the summer for summer league. So I'm looking forward to that challenge.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks, Scotty. Have a good one.